What's about to happen?
I don't know, bro.
I don't know, but when this beat drop, everybody better go.
How y'all doing, everybody? It's your boy Carter, Motivated by Grace TV. So today we're doing our first YouTube video officially, and we're doing I'm doing my first interview with my wife. And so I'm gonna let her introduce herself, let you know where you can follow her, and basically just introduce you to the platform and what we have going on. So if you would, just introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi everybody, I am Mrs. Janina Anderson, also known as Evangelina Anderson. I'm the co-founder and co-creator of Yophi Aesthetics, hence the name there on the shirt. Yophi Aesthetics is a beauty business. You can find me on Facebook through my business page, Yophi Esthetics. You can also follow me on Instagram. My handle is at Melanin Air Esthetician. It's just like it sounds. It's like millionaire and melanin put together. So Melanin Air Esthetician. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's what's up. All right, so we're gonna start off by going straight into the questions. So I'm gonna ask my wife a series of questions. I want everybody to, if you have questions, I had a few people, give me questions, and then I have a few questions of my own that I want to ask her. So we'll start off by going straight into the questions for the fans and for everybody who supports the business and maybe just wants to know a little bit more about what an esthetician is, what an esthetician does, and things like that. So the first question that I have for you is, how do you determine what facials and procedures are best for your client's skin?
Everybody's skin is different. That goes with genetics. That goes with everybody's chromosomes are different. Like even identical twins still look differently. There's something that you can tell that's different about each twin, so no one's skin is the same as the next. And with that being said, with providing a treatment or choosing a set treatment, I personally have liked to air my practice, my profession of over 12 plus years on customizing everybody's facial. So I may have a clarifying facial that's for someone who tends to have congestion in their pores, where they have maybe fine bumps and things like that, where I need to do some extractions. I may need to take their exfoliation a little bit deeper, different things like that. So you might have an aging client, somebody whose skin is getting old and it's not as glowy. It's not as, me doing that, I'm actually pinching my skin and it's doing a quick snapback. The elasticity in their skin is not the same. Or you may have someone who has like rosacea or actual hereditary or natural sensitivities. But that leads me to something else that we'll talk about another time on another day. Sensitivities versus being sensitized by certain products. You can be sensitized and think because you're reacting to something that you're sensitive.
That's what's up. So, okay. That's pretty interesting. That's very interesting. So the next question that I have for you, as we know, clients rely on estheticians for skincare advice. What factors do you consider when selecting skincare products for your client?
Again, okay, so here, I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. Factors such as what is their daily routine like? Do they exercise? How much sun intake do they have? Are they just driving, commuting in the car to work or to a meeting or what have you? Are they constantly traveling?
Yeah.
Do they need something that's simple? Are they a family-oriented person? Are they a homemaker? Business, whatever, different things like that come into play. How often do they change their pillowcases?
That's interesting. That is a very interesting. That is a real good one. If you don't change your pillowcases, I would advise y'all to change y'all pillowcases. At least every week or so, or every 2 weeks.
At least once a week.
Once a week.
But I mean, ideally 3 times a week is like a good minimum.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so next question. Can you tell me about a time in which you identified a severe skincare issue, if that's okay, and what were you able to do to actually, help the situation for that person, in the situation, in those particular situations?
A severe situation?
Yes, like a severe skin problem.
Okay. Rosacea is really sensitive, really sensitive. There was a client that I have and had. I don't remember at the moment, because I've been a homemaker for the last 4 years, exactly what we did, but we adjusted the climate in the room. We adjusted the temperature. So instead of me using hot steam, I used cool steam. Instead of me using hot towels, I use cool towels. Heat inflames rosacea. Rosacea deals with the capillaries in the skin. And so that's the reason why on some Caucasian people and some white people, you tend to see them where they look like they have a red mask on their face. 9 times out of 10, it's rosacea.
Okay.
And so we adjusted, accordingly. And then even with her home care regimen, we just took it, we took our time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, and then last question I have for today is, do you have any experience with hair removal processes such as waxing, threading, laser, or electrolysis? Electrolysis? Yes, I'm sorry. It's not really my thing, but I'm learning as well how to learning the words and the right pronunciation for the esthetician.
Nobody's holding you to it.
No,
you didn't take
sure.
the exam. It's okay.
For sure.
Yes, waxing. Yes. I've been a huge fan of waxing since my schooling.
Yeah.
Hands down, like I'm a waxer. I have not touched on electrolysis yet. The reason being is when I first got into the industry, it was kind of antiquated. It was one of those practices that they would have already been in the industry about 25 years, the other estheticians.
Gotcha.
And so they were still doing it, but it was like left kind of back in the 80s and early 90s. Nobody really carried it over into the millennium.
Nobody know about,
Well, yeah, like you have to actually go to someone who knows.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, it is still used to this day. It's just, again, knowing, if that's something you want to do. Electrolysis is something that's a little bit like, it's the name. Again, I haven't dove into it yet, but the name is pretty much self-explanatory. So there's some electricity or electronic gadgets involved, but it's also like the act of tweezing just through an electronic format. So laser, I have not dove into that just yet. And sugar, those are the 2 that's on my menu. My lineup of courses that I'm getting ready to take. And I just tried threading for the first time.
And how was that experience for everybody that don't know? Yeah, because there's a lot of people that I know a lot of people out there that thread, and I know there's a lot of ladies that watch that actually gets threading done. So can you tell them just about your experience with you being an esthetician, and how did it make you feel? Because I know it plays a part in your field, and so when you got this experience, just basically, tell me how it made you feel.
Yes. I became an esthetician for the level of integrity that my profession offers in helping to maintain someone's beauty, in helping to improve their skin's condition, so on and so forth. I got into it because it's a gift of service, to serve somebody. I got in it because I like the aesthetics with an A. Aesthetics, as opposed to me being an esthetician. This particular shop that I went into, I went by way of referral. So I definitely asked around. Again, I'm 12 years tenured in the game. I did not want to do threading before when I first learned of it. One, I respect it because it is a cultural thing. So hands down, I respect it for my Indian sisters and even brothers from Asia, who it's their culture. That's what they grow up doing with removing their hair, whether it be the eyebrow or lip or wherever. There's two different ways. This particular shop did the way that repulsed me. They had the string in the mouth and then the two strings in the hands and all that, and it hurt. It felt like, instead of, here's the thing, when you're tweezing your eyebrows, when you're tweezing hair from your body, you're not plucking, because you're not a chicken. You're tweezing, and you're supposed to go in the same direction that the hair is growing out in. So if you are pulling straight out, one, that hair is gonna grow back out. Two, you're gonna end up having an ingrown, and three, it's uncomfortable. It's painful, as opposed to sliding it completely out by the root.
Okay.
I felt like she was breaking the hair. Tweezing like this can break the hair. So it wasn't very sanitary. I'm gonna need you to wash your hands in between clients. Wear some gloves with each client, fresh pair of gloves with each client. I could see to a degree, because of them using the thread, as I'm thinking about it, I could see how that could be a little difficult to maneuver with, because they're having to shift the thread that they're using in their hand. So I watched that, but still at the same time, your workstation needs to be pristine. Your sanitizer bottle needs to be pristine.
Most
like
definitely.
it's different things like that. So it wasn't a very pleasant experience for me all around.
Gotcha.
I saw how I could improve everything. Should I decide to go ahead and become a threader?
Awesome. So, for you guys that don't know, I experienced my first facial with my wife a few years ago, and it was amazing. She took her time. Everything was clean. She had some very meditational music, and it was very comfortable. I can say, when she did use the extraction tool, for me, my personal experience with it, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was like a pleasure pain, but it was still a good experience, and I loved it, and it actually helped brighten my skin, and I got to see the increase as far as like my pores. I didn't have as much dirt buildup, seeing that I played football and everything like that. There was a lot of dirt in my skin, period. And so, she gave me the full treatment, and it was amazing. So for the ladies and guys who never experienced it, I advise you guys to contact her, get with her, and also, just experience it. You know what I'm saying? See what it feels like, because it's a beautiful thing, and she does an amazing job at what she does. And so I'm not saying that just to boost her up, just because she's my wife, but when it comes to businesses, I actually want to test you out before I start promoting you. There's no way I'll promote you without testing your services or testing, your product. And so I want to thank you for, taking the time to do this interview with me. I greatly appreciate you. You are amazing. I love you. I love the work you do. I love everything that you have going. And you know, I know that God is gonna bless you with even greater, and I'm so grateful to have you in my corner. And so
Thank you.
also, if you want to, you can give a few people a shout out. You know, say hello to, you know, some of your people. You know what I'm saying? And
Well,
yeah.
of course, I'm gonna shout out my baby, my honey lover man. That's what I call him. Carter Anderson. I'm very proud of him. He does not know how to stop. I have to kind of stop him sometimes. But I'm proud of him, and Motivated by Grace Athletics LLC, and every branch that comes from from that, and the man that he is for our family, and all that increase. I also want to give a shout out to the Massage Experience. Shantae Bruner is the owner and founder of this traveling massage therapy business here in the DFW.
We'll have her on here next too, so y'all be ready. Y'all be on the lookout for her as well. I definitely got an interview coming up with her as well. So,
Mike B. He's got some amazing barbering skills that you want to stay tuned in for,
yes, indeed.
because he's got plenty coming. Shout out to my pastor.
Yes, indeed.
My pastor and my pastor's wife. They just celebrated their 38th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations. Congratulations on that.
And
Yes,
thank you. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the Estheticians Connection. Texas Estheticians Connect.
Gotcha.
Yeah. A friend of mine, a little more of an acquaintance, because we didn't get to bond that much.
Yeah.
But Brianna McKee, I'm so proud of her.
Gotcha.
She has glued every esthetician in the state of
Texas.
in the state of Texas together, and caused a network, a community that otherwise, when I first became an esthetician, it didn't exist. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I can't speak enough about it. So there's a lot of others that I'd like to give a shout out to. Ashley Empowers, Lakeisha Michelle, my girl.
Okay. That's what's up. Awesome. So yeah, make sure you guys go like and follow those people. And also, before I end this, I want to ask you to please subscribe, and then also like and share this video on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and all other social media platforms. Also, if you don't know, we have the Motivated by Grace snapbacks and strapbacks for sale. The snapbacks are $20, the strapbacks are $15, and also we have the Motivated by Grace sweaters, and we have the hoodies going, and also we have the bulletproof vest, where we have teamed up with To A Million out in Atlanta, Georgia. It's Young Jock's cousin, and he has partnered with us as we are his brand ambassadors, and we will be supporting his business more and more. The more people that come out and get products and buy products, you'll get discounts when it comes to getting the bulletproof vest from him. He also does the customized fannies. He also does customized hats and everything else, apparel and things like that. So you guys can follow him on Instagram at 2 A Million. And also on his YouTube is at 2 A Million. And yeah, man, we're gonna continue to grow, continue to grind, continue to shine. I want to thank y'all, and I love y'all. I love the supporters. I love the fans. Thank you for continuing to push me as I continue to elevate with this. And if you would like to, or you know anyone that would like to come interview or be on my show, be sure to hit me up in my inbox or by email at motivatedbygrace32@gmail.com. Again, that's motivatedbygrace32@gmail.com. Thank you, and God bless.